Ms. Smith, your written statement will be made a part of the record, and you're recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman Reichert and Ranking Member Pascrell and members of the committee for the opportunity to come before you today to speak to you regarding the Miscellaneous Tariff Bill, or MTB, on behalf of the Gowan Company. I am Cindy Smith, the Ag Relations Director of Gowan USA. I have worked with the Gowan Companies for about 18 years in a variety of commercial and regulatory roles, and it's my honor to be able to speak with you today about Gowan and why we believe passage of the MTB is critical for our business, for agriculture and manufacturing in the United States to remain competitive and successful. Gowan Company is part of a group of companies headquartered in the agricultural community of Yuma, Arizona. As you might know, Yuma is the source of nearly all the lettuce grown in the United States during the winter months. So pretty soon when you start eating salad, know that that lettuce is coming from our town in Yuma, Arizona. Gowan is the only basic manufacturer and distributor of crop protection products in the United States that remains owned by a single family, the Jessen family. The Gowan companies include Gowan USA, which is sales and product development and marketing of our products here in the U.S., Gowan Milling, which is a state-of-the-art manufacturing facility in Yuma that formulates many crop protection products. Gowan products only make up about 10% of Gowan Milling's business. The vast majority of their business is toll manufacturing for other companies like BASF and DuPont. The Dune companies, which are based in Yuma, Imperial Valley, and Salinas, California, retail operations that sell crop inputs directly to growers. So they are certified pest control advisors that actually walk fields and make recommendations to growers. And then Gowan Seed, which is sales and product development and marketing personnel that focus primarily on vegetable seed production. John Jessen started the family of companies over 55 years ago after returning from military service in Korea. The business started with John himself walking fields, making pest control recommendations to growers, and now has grown into several businesses that provide a variety of inputs to U.S. growers. Through our marketing companies, we develop, register, and sell crop protection products around the world. The Gowan companies now employ more than 700 people in the United States with a payroll that exceeds 50 million. Approximately half of those 700 jobs are in Yuma, Arizona at our plant. Gowan Milling itself employs 300 of the 700 jobs and has become a major employer in Yuma. The MTB will help us be competitive and keep all these wonderful people employed and successful. John remains active in the business today as the chairman of the board, and his daughter Julie Jessen is the chief executive officer, and other members of the family also remain very active in the business. Gowan develops, registers, and supplies crop protection products to farmers across the U.S. Our business model is to acquire, develop, and maintain those products critical to agricultural production. We invest most of our profits right back into the business to improve the existing products or to bring new ones to the market. We primarily serve specialty crop markets, so fruits, nuts, and vegetables. U.S. specialty crop growers typically do not have access to many crop protection products, as growers of large row crops benefit from. So the specialty crop markets are smaller, and therefore the tools that they have are critical to their success and to preserve and to be competitive. The MTB process is extremely helpful in allowing us to remain cost competitive and provide those products to specialty crop growers. Gowan is clearly not the largest crop protection company in the United States, but as a small family-owned business, access to cost-competitive materials is critical to our ability to compete and to be successful. To serve our customers, we buy active ingredients, have products manufactured by contract manufacturers in the U.S., and source some of our products from outside of the United States. To be competitive, we've developed strategic relationships with suppliers and vendors who are able to supply our needs in a timely and cost-effective manner. Because not all of the raw materials needed are produced here in the United States, we have found the MTB process is extremely helpful in reducing our overall cost and improving our global competitiveness. Gowan is very pleased that the new MTB process will regularly and predictably update the harmonized tariff schedule to suspend or reduce duties on active ingredients and other products that we import because they are not available in the United States. This new process will bring enhanced certainty to our long-range planning and product development process. For our business and that of our customers, international trade is an essential component of our livelihoods. For this reason, we have a keen interest in efforts to remove tariffs on active ingredients and other products that we import. We can't use those active ingredients as we import them. We have to do manufacturing on them to make them available to growers. So I appreciate the opportunity to provide input to you today, and I look forward to working with you on passing this bill as quickly as possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Mackesy. Ms. Smith, you mentioned in your testimony that the new MTB process provides better certainty and predictability, which will help long-range planning and product development. Can you talk a little bit about, more about how the new process helps you better plan and make investment choices in a small family-owned business like yours?
Sure. So not unlike my other panel members here, our company, as a small family business, margins are key, right? So as we were just discussing with you, the cost of goods is a key driver of that. And so as we look at opportunities to either invest in existing products that we have today or in developing new products to bring to the market or partnering with others to bring products into specialty crops, what we can project in our business plans about what our potential margin will be is critical to us being able to spend the dollars up front to develop those products and get them registered and then sell them. So our investment happens before we can ever sell a product. So having a predictable process that lets us better estimate what the cost of goods are for our products is critical to that whole process.
Provides certainty for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr.
To any of the witnesses, how important is tariff relief on manufacturing inputs to your competitiveness with imports of finished goods? Ms. Smith?
Sure, I'll start. So it's very important because agriculture is a global economy, right? And there is no one product that everybody uses. They have to use multiple products. So all of our products are competing with everything else that comes in. So having that competitive advantage both in manufacturing and in the ability as we sell our products is critical to our success.
Thank you. Go ahead. Ms. Smith?
I'd just like to add one thing to your question, which is that, you know, you asked what do we do with the savings that we get from these. One for sure is what we've all talked about, which is reinvestment into our companies and products and research and development and bringing products to the market. But we also have a profit sharing program with our employees. So when we have 700 employees, if anything I can do to reduce my cost benefits my employees. It allows me to continue to provide health care coverage. It allows me to pay bonuses. It allows us to give raises. So I think that, you know, for sure one is in the products that we bring in the manufacturing, but also in the benefits to the employees and the rest of the people in our community. We have a program where we invest in our schools to help bring science to the classroom there so people understand science and the importance of agriculture. And any savings that we have allows us to continue to do those things.
And the reason why I asked the question in the first place is I think that we need a barometer in terms of when we use that term, savings, and making yourself more competitive. I want to see where wages are in the company before and after. There's no law that we can pass to do that, but it would certainly lead to the solvency of the program. We've got, 3 years, every 3 years we vote on this. So the point of the matter is that the results need to be somewhere that we can measure. We're not just talking about feelings here. I know you're not. We need to talk about what's measurable in terms of helps the stagnant wages in the United States of America, besides providing you with the ability to be a little bit more competitive. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Ms. Jenkins.
Do you agree, and I'll start with you, Ms. Smith, that it is important for the United States to maintain its existing trade agreements and to also work on negotiating additional agreements?
Thank you. I do believe existing trade agreements are important. I think the position of agriculture is pretty well known about their belief about trade agreements. As you talked about, we export a lot of agricultural products from the United States. Our business is a supportive one of U.S. agriculture, so we are fully supportive of anything that helps U.S. growers sell their products overseas. So I would say, yes, the trade agreements that we have in place are very critical for agriculture. any work we do on trade agreements, we should first look at, what is the impact to U.S. business, right? And make sure we do no harm to U.S. business.
Saying this modernization of NAFTA, which is going on right now, that it is important for stability and confidence as a part of your export knowledge or continuing that track down the road, that you're counting on that? It's important?
Yeah, I think I talked about it a little bit in my testimony. Certainty is critical, right? And understanding what those trade agreements say today and what they may or may not say in the future. I think getting input from those who are impacted is essential so that you have a firsthand understanding of what those impacts are. I mean, we do crop protection products, but we also grow dates. We export our dates to Canada, Mexico primarily, all that. So we have an impact on a number of different levels from those agreements. So I think it's essential, yes.
And if I could ask each one of you quickly, what kind of trade policy do you think helps your company the most?
What kind of trading policy, is that what you
Yes.
said? Yeah, so clearly a fair trading policy, right, that considers what the impacts are for us, but I think as Mr. Kelly was suggesting, that all of us are in a business that has impacts beyond what we do, right? So who we sell to, who we buy from, what we do in our community. So I think it has to be a broad consideration of what the impacts are to make sure that we can remain competitive as American companies, family-owned businesses in small communities, competing on a global scale. I
Thank
think
you.
all of us sell them globally.